I've never run for office. Okay, move on this. So I'm going to try and introduce myself as best I can. I'm figuring this out. My name's John, right behind me, Hires, and I'm a candidate for State Senate District 9. I'm not running against your House District member as much as I am trying to restore Representative Republic. I've been privileged to reside in Jefferson Parish for the last 23 years. Originally, I moved over off West Fall to Jefferson Heights. I was invited back from Mardi Gras in '95 after meeting my cousins, the Hire family, and I met my wife in Old Metairie at a music venue. In a typical boy meets girl fashion. Fell in love with a New Orleans lady of the Boudreaux and Lacoste families. Our only child, a daughter, was born at East Jefferson Hospital after a week in NICU with minor complications. I've raised her on Houma Boulevard. It's in District 80. When she was 3 years old, the opioid crisis hit our home. My daughter's mother becomes an early statistic. The maternal side of my family has always been politics. My grandfather was a mayor. My great-great-grandfather was a U.S. Senator from North Dakota, Republican. So naturally, my mom believed that one day I could be president. I've never held such ambitions. I was certainly inspired to read our Constitution, learning our preamble as many of my peers did via Schoolhouse Rock, secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Well, by age 8, I took notice over Ford versus Carter that the adults in the room were basically arguing alongside each other. Few exercise the patience or the critical thinking or apply critical thought to their opponents or to the other side of the coin, as it were. It seems as though ourselves got lost. As years would turn to decades and my choices had consequences, I routinely revisited my political interests. Now with my daughter off to her second year in college and my desk empty, I've decided to focus those concerns for Republican form towards serving a more civic-minded goal. I have only one item on my agenda: restore Representative Republican form through transparency, possibly to a fault, accountability, and the oversight that I would hope my fellow citizens would conduct. I believe an office of trust can be achieved. Given that trust, I would commit myself to seeing principled representation returned to the people as we should expect, deserve, and were promised. Cynthia had mentioned competing with our neighbors, and that applies to some of the maps I brought. I believe we can do better and are actually obligated to do better. Securing those blessings of liberty to ourselves, not to yourself, not to myself, not to his team or her team, but ourselves, and more importantly, our posterity. I think I can handle it. This is Senate District 9 in the orange. Stretches from the parish line here, Route Transcontinental, jogs over and catches my old house right over here off of West Fall. It also includes about 20,000 people in Orleans Parish. And trust me, when I knock on Orleans Parish doors, I have to let them know that I'm a Jeffersonian Republican. That is not easy. To a lot of people on this side of the parish line, I don't look like a Republican. I'm a Jeffersonian Republican. There are 26 House districts out of those 105 that serve 2 parishes. There's another dozen that serve 3. There's 9 that serve 4 or 5 parishes. We even have 1 district serving 6 parishes. I don't believe that anyone can serve in any capacity, in any measure, in any level of government while trying to serve more than one master. I challenged everybody in the meeting last week. There's 39 House districts, 105, or 39 Senate, 105 House. I can find no way that they can measure it to 64 parishes. Principled representation matters. And lacking for it, we have arbitrary taxation. Direct taxes are supposed to be related. That's income and property taxes. They're supposed to be related to our representation. Jobs. Well, how about, given that we're the 2nd largest populated parish, contribute the most tax dollars to Baton Rouge, is there any good reason we don't have a bona fide college? I'm seeing a lot of jobs. We just make one. I was an electrician. I'd like to have that job. We settled for satellites. How about the economic engine we deserve? The application 1 ratio is intelligible to them and will therefore be approved, while the complex operations of what we suffer 39-105 never comprehended. Though they may acquiesce, we cannot approve what we do not understand. That's Jefferson. Music and science, they're my passions. Politics, that's a civic duty, and I humbly ask to be your public servant. This is my House district. There is no high school in District 8, not one public high school. 3 blocks away from EJ, I had to appeal to another district, of course, they did anything